During the 1970s and 1980s, legendary composer Burt Bacharach had the occasional comeback with another landmark in his career, and in 1981 he had one such comeback with his then fiancée, the lovely Carole Bayer Sager, a sporadically successful songwriter in her own right, and together they wrote and produced the album Sometime Late at Night, and from that the opening segment, Prologue and I Won't Break.
Look, how all our dreams came true, and see how I've got me, and baby you've got you, and through it all, just one thing died, a little thing called love, a feeling deep inside.
Now that is quite a poignant line, a stanza there. Look, see all our dreams came true. Baby, I got me, and baby, you got you. And through it all, just one thing died, a little thing called love, something deep inside. So it's like a couple, two lovers, who had been together a long time. They helped each other, achieve their own dreams, and in the process grew apart from one another as each of their dreams came to fruition. And now they have success that they helped each other build, but they need to go their separate ways because they just no longer have a lot in common.
Did you say you learned a lot? Yes, you learned what I forgot. Well, I've always been a little slow. Won't you run it by me one more time? It's just that I thought we were doing fine.
Did you say you learned a lot? Guess you learned what I forgot. Well, I've always been a little slow. Won't you run it by me one more time? It's just that I thought we were doing fine. So, the narrator is part of her is kind of surprised that she may not have seen it coming. That she went in wise and kind of forgot about some of her she went in wise as far as relationships and how to play the game of love, but as she fell in love, she kind of, some of her own better judgment slipped her, and now she's the one kind of perhaps in for a lecture. Backing vocals on this song are by Richard Page, then in the band Pages, and soon to be in the band, the frontman of Mr. Mister. Let's see. Baby, I won't break, so you don't have to worry, 'cause I know what I can take. Too much has been taken. So she's promising her lover that even if he breaks her heart, she won't break down, because she's bracing herself, and she's gotten all that she can really get from this relationship, but too much of it has just kind of drained or is just hopeless. And she's assuring him that he can come and go because she made the mistake of losing her better judgment when she got involved. And she's promising not to make the mistake again, that she's truly wised up this time.
Turn the radio loud. Make it seem like there's a crowd. Wonder how it is I didn't know. Well, I guess it's true that love is blind. It's just that I thought we were doing fine. Did I hear you say you want to go?
I gotta say, I just love the way that she sings. It's like she has this certain grit to her voice, and she didn't ultimately really become known as a singer so much as a writer or a co-writer. Like this being a co-write between her, Burt Bacharach, and her often collaborator, Australian-American Peter Allen. And that team also wrote that year's Arthur, the theme from Arthur that Christopher Cross sang for the namesake movie, or as it's colloquially known, When You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City. Yeah, I love the slight grit. She may not have like the world's prettiest voice. Maybe in a way she's almost like a female Dylan in that she is not technically a great singer, and yet she's able to put in a certain passion, a certain character, a certain grit, a certain sincerity that not many interpreters would be able to do. And so there's still an appeal, like the way she stretches out, the way she kind of strains certain vowels and kind of like gets all gritty, all gravelly on others, like turn the radio up loud. Make it seem like there's a crowd. Okay, I'm kind of exaggerating, but you get the idea. And the backing male vocals that are really light, it's almost like she's kind of being masculine here with her grit. And it's like that the backing vocalist, I don't know if that's Richard Page right there. I definitely heard Richard Page a moment ago. But like I won't wait, so you don't have to wait. That's like what the male vocalist is doing faintly behind her.
It's all my mistake, and one that I won't make again. Turn the radio up loud. Make it seem like there's a crowd. Wonder how it is I didn't know. Well, I guess it's true that love is blind. It's just that I thought we were doing fine.
Richard Page. Some woodwind there. bleed into the next track. Yeah, the album's like basically a song cycle. A lot of songs fade into one another. That one line, I would say the most evocative line of the song, the most evocative couplet of the song is, "Turn the radio up loud, make it seem like there's a crowd." Yeah, yeah, it's just like drown out the pain, make me distract me, make me not think about what's going on, make me not think about this breakup, this tense, awkward situation. Make it feel like I have company. Make it feel like I'm just swarmed and imbibed with human traffic and distraction right now. Almost kind of like the antithesis of the lines that those similar yet reversed lines in George Michael's "Careless Whisper," the George Michael solo / Wham hit. Where he says, "Tonight the music is so loud, I wish that we could lose this crowd." Kind of like he wants the loud crowd to go away. She wants a loud crowd to come and sweep her up. But of course, even George Michael admitted, maybe it's better this way. We'd hurt each other with the things we'd want to say. She's already there. She already knows better. And that lovely saxophone was played by George Young, who has got a lot of credits on Discogs. Going back to like 1962, he, let's see if it will load up. He has played with Howard Tate. He played on the Black Keat album in 1972. He played on an Yvonne Elliman record. Played on some Barry Manilow, James Taylor, and Ubi Green title. Gloria Gaynor, Joe Thomas, the Masada album. Played on the John Tropia, the first album by him. The first Manhattan Transfer. Played on some of Frankie Valli's comeback stuff from the mid-70s. Got a lot of credits. This guy's been everywhere. On Weldon Irving's Sinbad album. Played on Ashford and Simpson's Come As You Are. Yeah, that's got some of their best songs on it. Somebody Told a Lie. Laura Nyro's Smile album, her comeback from 1976. A Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy. God, just everything you've heard of. Lou Courtney's Buffalo Smoke album. Let's see, another Joe Thomas, Feelings from Within, Vicki Sue Robinson, Jimmy McGriff, the Red Beans album. Yeah, hitting a lot of the jazz funk stuff from around that time. Idris Muhammad, House of the Rising Sun, the Luther Vandross's first solo album, the one with funky music, a lyrical rewrite, but the same track as Fascination by David Bowie. An album that Vandross had sung back up on. O'Donnell Levy, Windows. Lonnie Smith, Keep on Loving. God, the list just goes on. Blue Mitchell's Funktion Junction. Oh my God. Joe Farrell title on here. Yeah, Dean Friedman's first album. Eric Gale, Ginseng Woman. Libby Titus, the second self-titled album by Libby Titus, who didn't record after that second album. She went and all I know is that she married Donald Fagen. I don't know about any recording after that. Maybe a few kind of backing credits after that. Chaka Khan's first solo album. Cindy Boland's. Yeah. Oh God. He was even on that Starland vocal band album. Tea Life, Angela Bofill, the first Angela Bofill. Oh, I could just read this all night. Yolanda. Oh, he was on an Ian Hunter album. You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. Wow. God, he goes from all this to like the English hard rock scene, and then right after that, he's listed on Easy Going, Fear, this like Italian disco album from 1979. Love and Kisses. Yeah, that was Alec R. Costadinos project, one of many from that period. Let's get back. Who else was on? If I can get yeah, Love and Kisses. Yeah, the one You'll Never Know How Much I Love You. That with that woman humping a pony, I think. Let's see, bass. Lee Sklar. Oh yeah, the Hirsute Wonder. Been on many things. Back on when you. If you ever saw the video for Sussudio before you found out who Lee Sklar was, did you ever take like a specific fixation on him, thinking, who is that guy? It's like everyone else was like paying attention to the song, paying attention to Phil, and like you're thinking, yeah, but who is that guy? And he would be in a few other Phil Collins videos. He would be like several years later. He was on that one in the Titanic. In fact, in that one scene where the Titanic sinks, it was like the very last single released off of But Seriously. It only got played a few times, like on VH1. The Titanic goes down, and then Phil's backing band is in a lifeboat, and Lee Sklar is roaring the oar, looking back, watching the ship go down. And then Phil Collins swims and catches up with the lifeboat and puts his hand over the rails. And then he says, "See, I told you, we were just too damn loud." And then they dunk him. Jeff Porcaro on drums. Lee Ritenour on guitar. This is looking like a who's who of 81. West Coast AOR. Synthesizer, Ed Walsh. Let's see. Look at what his credits are. And Michael Lang on Fender Rhodes. Oh yeah, that lovely Fender Rhodes that was playing in there. Ed Walsh, a modest list of credits. He was on Styx's Pieces of Eight album. Bette Midler's Thighs and Whispers. Marlena Shaw's Take a Bite. Oh, he was on that Gordon Michaels album, Stargazer. Yeah, a mysterious album. Couldn't quite figure out if that guy was English or American. Yeah, I was working through that like about a year and a half ago. It has a really depressing song on it called Ugly Ramona. Kind of it's one that I only have like heard it like 3 times, but it's kind of haunted me. I was getting into that album like about a year and a half ago, kind of when I was kind of depressed about that woman who I found from my 20s, and got to go, that woman I had a crush on back in my 20s. Found her on Facebook, got her to go out with me a few times, and then just when I thought things were going well, she ghosted on me. He was on Grace Slick's Dreams album, on some Matum. He was on Double Fantasy, and he was also on albums by Turumasa Hino and Shigeharu Mukai, yeah, 2 Japanese jazz guys, and some of the other suspects that we had been reading about already, Luther Vandross, Diana Ross, and Mike Lang. 375 credits according to Discogs. So many that it's almost making the thing crash. Going all the way back to the mid-60s. He was on some recordings by Karen Krog, yeah, who I was just talking about last night, on that Affinity video. Yeah, because she also sang Mr. Joy, which Affinity, yeah, the risque Mr. Joy. He was on albums. He was on Constant Throb by John Clemmer, yeah, good album. Ball and Jack, one of the, I guess the second Ball and Jack album, Special Pride. Marlena Shaw, Who Is This Bitch Anyway? Yeah, good album. Lalo Schifrin, Nunzio. I actually don't know that one. Barbra Streisand's Wet. An album by Josipa Lisak. I guess her attempt at breaking the American market. Yugo, singer. Yeah, that one that Croatian who put out a really good album in 1973, which has become really popular, like in the 21st century, like on the internet. Huh. Oh, and an album by Gene Mason. Yeah, that that Playboy playmate who became a big like chanson star in France ultimately. Um, like an American who went over and became huge as a pop singer in France. Anyway, I could go on and on and on forever, but we heard Prologue. We heard the opening, double onslaught of Prologue and I Won't Break by Carole Bayer Sager from her 1981 album Sometimes Late at Night, recorded in collaboration with then romantic partner Burt Bacharach, the song co-written by Peter Allen. And for more Rubies and Sapphires from Carole Bayer Sager, or at least like the two albums I've worked through, two and a half. I haven't quite procured a good copy of that 78 album, so I've only worked through some of it, but her 1977 album and her 1981 album, the first and third, are both really good. The most notable thing about the second one is that it had the first version, I believe, of It's the Falling in Love, which would be covered several times in the next few years. It was covered on Off the Wall by Michael Jackson, and it was also covered on that year's album by Dee Dee Bridgewater, and in 1980 it was covered by Dionne Warwick on the second album of her comeback period. So like 4 recordings in the span of 2 years. It's a really good song, even though none of those versions, not even Michael's, managed to make it a radio evergreen. It still deserves to be more heard. It's really, really catchy number. Although the first one has got some great stuff. It has the big UK hit. You're Moving Out Today. Yeah. Very quirky cabaret number. You should go Google her miming it on Top of the Pops. Go YouTube that. And you can find the Rubies and Sapphires of Carole Bayer Sager on the directory of albums by American pop and blue-eyed soul artists, and link below for albums by her and other like West Coast AOR blue-eyed soul artists, like Boz Scaggs, Rupert Holmes, Barbra Streisand, Billy Joel, and on all the way over to like say the likes of Steely Dan, Chicago, Billy Joel, America, and onward to the likes of Todd Rundgren, Tim Moore, Stephen Bishop, yeah. Many of them. Bill Champlin. In the links below. And like and subscribe to know when the next videos are coming out. I usually post West Coast AOR type stuff. I post ballads like in the morning sometimes. Some of them in this vein, some in kind of other veins. And maybe like up-tempo, brisk West Coast AOR pop, like after mid-afternoon, West Coast time, that means. So like around 2 p.m. West Coast, 5 p.m. East Coast, around that time. And then evenings are instrumental stuff, jazz funk, jazz fusion, jazz experimental sometimes. Anyway, until then, like and subscribe. And this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled tri-maximalist, signing off.